Before starting the session, let's give my introduction. My name is Amit. Okay, so I'll be taking this entire session. I have approximately 15 plus years of IT experience. Okay, and I currently working as a Snowflake architect in some of the organization in India. I started working in Snowflake probably in 2019 or 20. Okay, so from that onwards, I'm working with Snowflake, sometimes with SQL Server, sometimes with Oracle, sometimes with different databases, but continuously working with Snowflake. So I have approximately 5 to 6 years experience in Snowflake. Okay, I have completed my architect certifications as well. So you guys can go to my LinkedIn profile and you can go through. Okay, so all the credentials has been provided over there. This batch gonna be my 89th number, batch number Snowflake, batch number 89. Okay. Recently, I completed my one morning batch, so that's the reason I'm starting this batch. So basically, it's batch number 89. So this would be entire Snowflake and DBT session. Okay. Uh, After the session, like every session, I'll be providing the recordings of the session that I'll do. I'm recording all the session. I'll be giving the recording of the session. I'll be giving the script, code, okay, whatever I will execute here. I'll give the PPT or any other docs for study, and also you can read it from the Google as well. We have the Snowflake docs available in the internet. Also, we will be providing certification dump. Okay, certification, that is Snow Pro Core certification, Snow Pro Core certification dumps. Okay, and along with that, we will be providing the interview. If anybody is willing to go for the interviews and also, I will be providing the interview most asked questions and all, and sample resume also. I'll try to provide. Okay. So these are all the things. Or any other help is needed for your real work and all. So I'll be happy to help you on that. Okay. So this is what the session, and this session will be morning 7:30 a.m. IST timing, daily, Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour. Okay. So this is the entire session details and my details. So you guys can go to the LinkedIn profile and you can find out my all the credentials over there and my organizations and all those things. It is available over there. Okay. So if you don't have the link of my profile, you can ping me in WhatsApp. I'll be sharing the link. Okay. So that's what my profile is all about. Okay. Let's start the session. So today we will discuss about the Snowflake introduction part. Okay. So after today's session, we will be able to answer basic two to three questions which mostly people ask in certification exam or interviews. So we will be able to answer those questions. Okay. So let's start. So first of all, what is Snowflake? What is Snowflake? So Snowflake is nothing but it's a data warehouse. Okay, warehouse is something where we gather all the item into a single place. Let's say, for an example, Amazon, Flipkart, or anything, any portal. If you go any online shopping center, if you go, they all have the warehouse in your city, right? There they gather all the item from different sources. According to the customer need, they gather the item in their warehouse, and from there they deliver the item to the customer's address. That is what those companies are doing, right? So but similarly, so that means warehouse is the place where we gather the items into a single repository, right? Similarly, data warehouse is something where we gather all the data from the different source system into a single repository so that we can fulfill the customer needs. Okay. Customer doesn't want the original or raw data. They want polished, transformed data. For an example, I have a let's say you are purchasing something from the online portal. Let's say you are the user, you are purchasing something from the online portal. Okay, online portal. So it can be anything. It can be any, you are booking any flight ticket, you are booking any train ticket, bus ticket, or let's say you are purchasing some garments or whatever it is. So you are purchasing something from the online portal. Okay, now whenever you are purchasing some item from the online portal, basically you are providing all your details here, like your customer details, like your phone number, your email address, all those informations you are providing. Along with that, let's say you are booking a flight ticket, so you provided all your details. Along with that, you booked a flight ticket, means you have reserved a seat, you one PNR number has been generated, right? Then one seat has been allocated to you, some meal item has been allocated to you. So these are all the things happened here. Okay, now whenever you are doing all those things in the online portal, definitely that is going to store in some databases, right? So this type of database we call as a OLTP database, online transaction processing. Okay, so this is the online transaction, yeah, OLTP databases. Okay, now this OLTP database are nothing but these are all directly connected with your online portal. Okay, so let's say user purchase some item. So they will be those details will be going into the online portal and according to this database. Okay, so if I show you the picture, let me show you, so you will be able to understand properly. So you can see here, so whenever we are purchasing something, the data, basically the details of your user, of your items, of your deliverables, everything is going to the one database, and that we call it as a online transactional processing. This is this is OLTP database. This database is directly connected with your online system. So let's say you purchased a flight ticket against your customer details, basically the aviation, all the related PNR number, seat number, everything has been updated. Now let's say you have rescheduled your travel. Now today you supposed to travel, now you reschedule to tomorrow. So your all the details will be updated immediately here, so that others can occupy your seats and other can get the chance to travel today, right? So that is the reason. So basically all the asset properties will be maintained here, right? So this is your OLTP database. Here basically always we will be having the current data. It will be constantly updated data, it will be highly detailed data. Okay, day to day operations informations will be stored here, and it will be in a normalized form. Okay, now whenever we gather all the data into this OLTP database, now from this type of database we get the data into another set of place, and that is what we call data warehouse. Okay, so simply it is something like from this database we get the data into a data warehouse. Okay, data warehouse. Now question is why. Let's say for an example, I'm giving a simple example. Let's say for an example, you are booking a flight ticket. Okay, I am also booking a flight ticket. You booked a flight ticket from a different portal, I booked a flight ticket from a different portal, but we both booked from the same aviation company. Okay, so let's say it is a Indigo, SpiceJet, whatever it is. So you also booked the flight ticket from that particular flight company, I also booked the flight ticket for that particular airways. But the thing is that we book from the different portal. I book some other XYZ portal, you book from ABCD portal. Okay, now let's say Indigo or SpiceJet, whatever, Air India, whatever. So basically they decided like, okay, whoever customer has traveled more than 10 times in last 3 months. Okay, so we will be providing them a 50% discount coupon for their next travel. Now, first, what I need to do is like I need to analyze the data, right? I need to analyze the complete transactions data, and I need all the data into a single place. Then only I will be able to analyze the data as a whole, right? Because I book from the some other vendor, you book from some other vendor, somebody else books from some other vendor, right? So all the data should be coming into a single place, right? And that's the reason the data warehouse is all about. So we get the data from the different source system. We get the data from the different source system. Let's say data source 1, data source 2, data source 3. We all the data, we extract the data and we load into the data warehouse. Okay. And in the data warehouse, what we do is like we transform the data, might be through dbt, might be through view or whatever it is. So we transform the data here, and then those data will be analyzed by the business bi people. And so basically we gather all the data from the single place, and there we analyze. Okay, there we will be running the query. Okay, these are all the criteria. The criteria is like it should be last 3 months more than 10 times up and down running. It is a complete transactions, like they did not cancel the flight, they did not skip the travel. Might be lot of passengers has booked the ticket but not traveled. We will be eliminate those informations or those customer details. So here we will be running the query and we will prepare the data. See, all the data we will get here, and here we will get data we will get here. We will get some, let's say, customer data. Okay, we will get here booking data. We will get here let's say pnr informations. We will get here some accessories informations. Okay, all the informations we will be getting, and different tables might be, it is a separate table, this booking information separate tables, customer information separate tables, all the details, payment, what payment they have made, that is that data we will get. So these are all raw data. Now if I give this raw data to business, they will not understand anything, right? I need a single place where I will basically manipulate all these raw data, and I will make some data polished and transform data which actually business wants to see. So that is the reason this data warehouse. In that data warehouse, what we will do is like we will run, we will join this all the tables. We will be running the query. We will be preparing the data what business wants to see. Okay, so that is the reason. Now, after the data warehouse, then here it will be like BI people or simply business people will be receiving the data from the data warehouse, and they will generate the report, and that report will be shown to the BI business people, and they will be taking decisions. Okay, these are all the guys where we will be providing the 50% discount. This is your entire business model. Okay, so we as a user provide the data through online portal. It goes to the OLTP databases. From different OLTP database, it can be from different OLTP database, it can be from files or whatever it is, whatever may be the data sources. From there, we get the data into the data warehouse. This is what we call as a OLAP. Data warehouse, we call it as a OLAP. This is the online analytical processing. Here we analyze the data. Okay, we don't store only, we analyze the data here. Okay, so LAP, then those data will be considered by the business people for the further information or for the further analysis. Okay, so that is your entire business model. Wherever you go, either you go to retail section, or you go to manufacturing section, you go to banking section, you go to insurance section, wherever you go, you will always get this type of flow of your entire project. Okay, so that is what the scenario. Now, Snowflake is nothing but it's a data warehouse. Okay. Now, if I say Snowflake is a data warehouse, that will be wrong statement. Snowflake is not only a data warehouse, it's a cloud data warehouse. Okay, it's a cloud data warehouse. Why it is a cloud data warehouse? Because whenever we open a Snowflake account, first of all, Snowflake is a browser based application. It is not like you don't need to install anything. You don't need to basically you don't need to bring any software, any hardware, nothing. It's a browser based application. You just how we open a Gmail account, how we open an Yahoo account, similarly we open a Snowflake account, and then we access that account through a URL or user ID password from the all over the world. Wherever you want, you can access that and you can work on Snowflake. So Snowflake is a browser-based applications. Okay, it's a cloud infrastructure, right? Now, why we call it as a cloud data warehouse? Because whenever we will be opening a Snowflake account, so that account can be deployed any one of this cloud, either AWS or Azure or GCP. Okay. So whenever we open the Snowflake account, you have the option. You can choose any one of these three, and you can deploy your account on either AWS or Azure or GCP, and they are the cloud service providers. Okay. So why we deploy this Snowflake account on this cloud? Because if I say Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse, that is also wrong statement. Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Along with that, it is a SaaS product. SaaS means software as a service. We have three things now. You remember that IaaS, infrastructure as a service, then PaaS, platform as a service, and the SaaS, software as a service, right? Snowflake is a software as a service product. Why it is a software as a service product? Because Snowflake takes the services from these cloud providers. Whenever I opened a Snowflake account, for an example, I opened this Snowflake account. Whenever I will be opening the Snowflake account, let's say I opened a Snowflake account on AWS cloud. I deployed the account on AWS cloud. Whenever I opened the Snowflake account, I deployed the account on the AWS cloud. If that is the true, then Snowflake will be taking the services from AWS, cloud services. Now, what are all those cloud services? Storage service and computing service. Okay, storage service and computing service. Okay, before that, I will tell you one story so that you can understand. Let's say, for an example, you want to travel from your home to your office. So you can go by two way. One, you have your own car. You purchased your own car. You are traveling by your own car. Okay, and you will be going to your office by your own car. Now here, one advantage is there, that car is your own and you are owning the car, so you are the owner of the car, so it is your asset. But there is some drawbacks also. What is the drawback? Huge upfront cost is involved, right? So that means before purchasing the car, you have to pay the entire amount to the company, right? Huge upfront cost is involved. Before utilizing it, you are paying the amount. Okay. Second thing is huge maintenance activities is there. Huge maintenance activities is there. That means not only the purchasing car is the end of the story. You have to purchase one parking for it. You have to go for the regular insurance and all those things, right? So it's a huge maintenance activities are involved, right? This is exactly your on-premise data warehouses. In our every company, we always have might seen in our old days is like there is a room where all the servers are connected with LAN and all the things, right? So basically, that was the on-premise setup. So in case of on-premise, you have to purchase all the softwares, all the hardwares, everything. You have to set up, you have to configure, you have to hire a team which will be maintaining those entire setup, right? That is the thing. But let's say, second example, let's say I will not travel by my own car. I will take the cab service. So let's say in India we have Ola, Uber, InDrive. So let's say I open my app, I booked a car. Now the car will come to my house. I'll get into it. I'll complete my ride and I'll pay whatever kilometer I traveled. So that means here, what is the drawback? Drawback is like it is not my asset. I cannot claim on the asset. That is one thing. Second thing, but what is the advantages is there? Advantages is there no upfront cost, no upfront cost involved. Okay, no upfront cost involved. Second thing, no maintenance activities is my responsibility. Right? No maintenance activities. My responsibilities is not there. And third thing, pay what you use. Pay what you use. Okay. So this is exactly your Snowflake is all about. Okay. Whenever I'm saying, so see what, whenever let's say I have booked one Uber cab, that cab is not belongs to Uber. Uber is not the owner of the cab. In your city, whatever cabs are running, they all are not belongs to Uber. Uber does not have ownership on the cab. What Uber has done, Uber has created one platform. Okay. In that platform, we as a user, we log in, and the car owner also log in. Now we take the services from the car owner and we pay the amount to Uber platform. Uber keeps their cutoff and remaining they pay to the car owner. That is the business model, right? Exactly, Snowflake does the same thing. Snowflake does not have any storage capacity. Snowflake does not have any computing capacity. What is storage? Storage is nothing but the physical storage files where the data will be stored. That means hard disks. In our laptop, in our smartphone, everywhere we have the storage capacity. So Snowflake does not have storage capacity. So it will be interesting to know if I insert the data, I write a insert command in Snowflake, we are thinking as a user the data is inserting into Snowflake, but that is not true. Snowflake is just a infrastructure. Snowflake is just a framework where basically we as a user log in, and on the downstream we have these cloud providers available. So whenever we insert the data, because Snowflake does not have the data storage capacity, so data goes and stores into the cloud. So data goes and stores into the cloud. Either that is AWS. If you have deployed your account on AWS, then it will store into AWS. If you have opened your account with Azure, it will be stored in the Azure, and similarly for GCP. Okay. So Snowflake does not have storage capacity. Snowflake is just a framework. Okay. Now, similarly, the computing is nothing but the processing unit, right? In our mobile, in our smartphone, in our laptop, desktop, everywhere we have the processors, right? So that is what nothing but the computing. Okay. So Snowflake does not have the processing power also. That also they takes from these cloud providers. And because it is taking this storage and computing services from this cloud provider, that's the reason we call it as a SaaS product. Okay. So now the question can comes, why we are not directly using this cloud? Because they also have their own storage, they also have their computing services. Why we are not directly use their database? You can use it, there is no issue with that. But the thing is that why we don't go to road and stop every car and ask them whether I am going to this direction, whether we will go or not? We can do that also, right? We can go to road and we can ask to every taxis, every cabs, that are you going there, are you going there, how much is the fees? Okay, you do some bargaining. We can do that also, right? But we don't do. Why we don't do? Because whenever we open the app, we book the cab, so that will immediately come to your house, and you can ride, and you don't have to go with all those complexities, right? All the complexities has been minimized by these cab service providers, right? Similarly, Snowflake also doing the same thing. Snowflake, under the hood, Snowflake will be maintaining everything, server related activities, storage, computing, every activity Snowflake cloud providers or the cloud engineers will be handling. You as a data engineer or admin or architect, you people will be only concentrating on the database, on the data warehouse, on the data level. Okay. So you don't need to worry about the servers level, right? So it is completely hidden, that entire complexity, how the under the hood, how it is working, how it is taking the services from the cloud, how it is storing the data into the cloud. So entire details, entire things will be hidden from you. You are not basically authorized to go with those information. Even you are not liable to handle those information. This entire server related activities will be handled by the Snowflake itself. And that is the reason basically people using Snowflake. Here we have the huge storage capacity, because we are under the hood we are taking the storage from the cloud providers, and cloud doesn't have any limitations. We have the entire storage. How much storage you need, you can use it, but remember, whatever you will be using, you have to pay for it. You don't need to pay any upfront cost. You don't need to pay any huge amount before using the storage. But yeah, whenever we will be basically end of the month, they will send the bill. Okay, this month you this much of storage you have used, so you have to pay for it. So we will come to those point later in our sessions, but as of now, just understand this is the way basically the Snowflake architecture actually works. Okay, so we store the data into Snowflake, but data actually stores in the cloud providers. Okay, so either that is AWS, Azure, GCP, whatever it is, we with the data gets stored into the cloud providers. Okay, so that is the way, that's the reason we call it as a cloud data warehouse. Along with that, we call it as a SaaS product, because Snowflake takes the services from this cloud infrastructure or cloud service providers. Okay, so that is the reason we call it as a cloud data warehouse. Along with that, it's a SaaS product. Okay. Similarly, if you see, there is a architecture, Snowflake architecture. You can see there are three layer of architecture we have. Okay, so three layer of architecture. First layer is the cloud service layer. This is actually the master layer, or simply you can understand like as a human being, we have the brain, right? And whatever instructions we are getting, like if we want to run, if you want to walk, if you want to sleep, so all the instructions are coming from the brain only. If a person brain is not working, that person is in coma, right? So that means the entire body will not work, right? So similarly, this is also same thing. This is the cloud service providers. Basically, this is the cloud services layer. The three layer makes the Snowflake architecture. This is the cloud service layer, and this layer actually responsible for maintaining the entire architecture. Okay, authentication, access control, infrastructure optimizer, metadata storage, security, what type of row level security, column level security, all those securities will be maintained by this service layer itself. Okay, so this is a cloud service layer, and entire this cloud service layer is nothing but it's a brain of the Snowflake architecture. Okay, second layer is the query processing layer. Query processing layer is nothing but it is the layer where we process the data. Like okay, so this is your actually computing or processing unit. Okay, so here this query processing layer will have one or multiple virtual warehouses. What is virtual warehouses, how it works, everything I'll tell you in the respective classes. But as of now, just understand this is nothing but the collection of servers, processing servers, or you can say this is the VM machines, which will be helping you to process the data. Any type of data related activities you are doing, let's say selecting data, inserting data, updating data, deleting data. So this type of data related activities you are doing, then virtual warehouses are the responsible to process your data. If you don't have the virtual warehouses, you can't process those data related activities. Okay, so that's how it works. Similarly, we have the third layer is nothing but the database storage layer, which is actually the storage layer where the data gets stored, actual data gets stored. Okay, so that is what the database storage layer. Okay, so here the physical data would be stored. So this is the three layers that actually combines the Snowflake architecture. Okay, now here from this entire session, so you remember a couple of things. Actually, there is no upfront cost involved in case of Snowflake, no maintenance activities involved in Snowflake. Pay what you use model, okay, and no unlimited storage because it's taking the cloud storage services. Huge performance benefits, okay, and no software hardware installation needed. Okay, these couple of things points you can remember. Okay, uh, fine. So this is how this entire basically the this is all about the Snowflake. Okay, so generally Snowflake is nothing but it's a data warehouse. It's a deployed on the cloud. We call it as a cloud data warehouse. Along with that, it takes the services from the cloud providers. That's the reason we call it as a SaaS product. From this entire session, there are a couple of questions they people ask. First of all, what are all the cloud services providers are basically acceptable while working with Snowflake? So your answer would be AWS, Azure, and GCP. Second question they ask whether it is a IaaS product, PaaS product, or SaaS product. So your answer would be it's a SaaS product. What are all the three layer of architecture we have in the Snowflake? So first of all, it will be the cloud service layer. Second thing, it will be a processing layer or computing layer or data processing layer. Also, we call it as a data processing layer. Okay. And last one is the storage layer. So these are all the three layer of architecture we have. Okay. Now I'll show you how to open a free trial account with Snowflake. So you need a, email address to open a free trial account. So you can go to the. Okay. Any question? Any questions you have? Yeah. Tell me.
Um, yes, Amit. Trying to wrap my mind around this, where you said that this is purely a web-based product.
Mhm.
So, I mean, a browser-based thing. So, how does it work when there are any upgrades in Snowflake, and so suddenly you open your browser and you see the latest version of
Exactly.
Snowflake?
Exactly. Exactly. So you don't need to basically run any patches or something. If Snowflake
Mhm.
is updating anything, that will be updated for all the users, whoever is using Snowflake.
So just like a Chrome browser, an
Exactly.
update,
Exactly.
and you are mandated to use that updated version. There is no rollback.
If you don't want to get that, see any general features they are updating, that everybody has to basically accrue. But if you are not willing to uh, accrue any specific type of features, then you can roll back that one. For that, you have to raise the ticket with Snowflake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that data is being stored in these cloud providers, right?
Right.
Even there, the data is stored in a table, correct?
Data stored in Snowflake itself as a table. I will show you. So let's say, for an example, if you see here, if you open a Snowflake account, they have provided lot of sample data. For an example, let's say if I take the data like this, but this is a call center table. Let's say I'm writing a query, select star from center. Okay. So it will store here as a table wise. You will see, as a user you won't understand that where the data is coming from and where the data is going to store. So that is the reason I told you,
Mhm.
hide the entire complexity. You are inserting the data here, you will be running the insert command only. How you run the insert command in other databases, similar way you will be running the insert command here also. Data you will be able to see in the table in the Snowflake itself, but internally this data is stored in the AWS storage.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Table and all view and all objects we will be creating here itself inside the database. But whenever we select the data, we get the data in front of us. We as a user don't worry about from where it is coming, but internally this data actually stored in the AWS cloud, because my account is created on AWS. If you have created your account on Azure, your data will go and store into the Azure. So that's how it will be working.
So
Whenever I
basically, you have to be well aware of the application that you're working on. You know
definitely,
what kind of data you would need and which table
definitely,
it is
yes.
available.
Whenever I
Okay.
will tell you, you will be able to understand. Whenever we will understand the micro partitions, we have the micro partitions class. So here I will explain how the data goes into stores into the database, how the three layers works. whenever we run a query, how it reads the data, everything I'll discuss. Okay, so then there it will be clear to you that how actually the data stores inside the cloud and how we retrieve the data from the cloud.
Okay.
Okay.
And even the storage, we do not have a say. Whatever Snowflake uses, we just use
Yes,
we use that.
Snowflake doesn't have any storage. Snowflake doesn't have any storage. No storage capacity. Whatever data we store, it stores a single byte also Snowflake doesn't have. It will always store in the cloud itself.
Cloud.
So
Oh,
this is the scenario actually. User access Snowflake. They provides the data to Snowflake, but internally Snowflake, all the things they are taking, either it is the two-way actually, either taking or storing from either
mhm.
AWS or Azure or GCP.
Okay.
It can take the services or it can store the data. So like that it works.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. Now, for an example, let's say I will be opening a Snowflake trial account. So I can go in the Google and I can write Snowflake trial. I'll be reaching to this page. We'll click on that page. Okay. And here we will be writing the all the things, like for an example, name, work email. So let's say with one email address, you can create multiple Snowflake trial account. Once the trial account is over, you can create another. This will be getting for 1 month, $400 usage. Okay, so for 1 month, you will be able to access this trial account. Once the 1 month is over, it will ask you to add your card details and all. So if you are fine with go with the paid account, so that's it, up to you. But you can again go to Snowflake trial. Again, you can use the same email address, and again you can create another trial account. So that way you can do Snowflake. Till now, they are accepting that same email address, multiple account they are accepting. But uh, I don't know in future what they will do. But as of now, from last 5 years, I can see that they are accepting. Okay, so company name, anything, I'm writing my name. Job title, let's say I'm giving architect or something. You
The
can write.
work you created in your prior account will be lost, right? I mean, once the
Yes,
1 month is
yes,
done.
yes. If you are not going with
Okay.
the paid version, then whatever practice you did or whatever, let's say you are
Mhm.
doing something over there, and those data will be lost. And if
Okay.
you want to continue, then you have to add your all the card details and all. They will be sending the bill. You have to pay from the next month onwards. First month is free. Next month onwards, they will be sending the bill. It's a postpaid bill they will be sending. They will be sending the bill, how much storage you have used, how much computing you have used. They will be sending. You have to pay according to that. How we do with the Azure AWS, similarly like this here also.
Okay.
Now here you can see, like there are three type of editions are there. Standard edition, it's a very basic type of edition. Here a lot of features are not available. Enterprise edition is the most popular edition, which is used in the organization level and all. Business critical edition is the also is the popular edition, which used mostly in the business. So there are a couple of things which is not there in the standard edition, like 90 days time travel period, multi-cluster warehouse, materialized view. These features are not available in the standard one. Similarly, in the business critical editions, we have the basically data protection, data failover, failback. These functionalities are there. So better we will be choosing the business critical, because all the things we are going to learn in here. So we will be choosing the business critical editions. So better not to choose the standard edition. You can go with the enterprise, but better to go with the business critical. And then we will come down, and now they are asking that choose the cloud providers. Which one you want to work with? Either AWS or Azure or GCP, whatever you want, you can choose from here. Okay. So let's say for an example, I chosen the AWS account, and after
I
that,
think Mohan has a doubt. I'm sorry.
sorry.
Mohan raised his hand.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Mohan. Tell me. Anything you want to ask, Mohan? Oh, I think, yeah. Okay. So you can go here. You can basically choose the AWS or Azure or GCP. After that, you can choose the region one, and then you can click on the this one, and region you can choose according to your region, in which place you are, according to that you can choose, and after that you can go for the get started. It will verify something, so let's do that. These are all the days started newly. After that, they will be asking couple of questions, two questions actually. You can skip it. You don't need to answer. You can skip it. And it is done. Check your inbox. There will be one email has to be sent. So you can see they have sent activate your Snowflake account. Like that, one email will be coming. You can click on that. And after that, you can go for the click to activate account. So if you click on the click to activate account, here it will ask you to provide your username and password. Any username password you can provide. For an example, let's say I am providing Snowflake ADM. You can provide your name, your email address, whatever it is. And similarly password. Okay. So let's say, and let's go for the get started. Once it is done, now you will be opening, you will be basically login into your trial account. This is your Snowflake trial account. Okay. Let me close this account, and going forward next day onwards, this is your URL. With the same email they will be providing the URL also. You can click on that URL. Going forward, every day you will be logging with your user ID password. Let's say Snowflake ATM. So this is the way you will be logging to your account. You will go to the project, you will go to the worksheet. You can click on this plus create SQL worksheet here, and you will be reaching to that page where I was there, right? So here you can write your query, you can execute the query, whatever you want. So I'll show you each and everything from the next day onwards. Okay. So this is the way you can create your own trial account with Snowflake. Okay, fine. So
So it doesn't matter what cloud provider you're using, right?
doesn't
It'll
matter,
be the same interface.
right? But scenario is something else. For an example, I'll show you. Let's say the prices are different. So I'll tell you. Let's say for an example, if I let's say I want to open an account with GCP. Okay, then let's say it is having, let's say for an example, London region, it is coming 23 terabyte per $23 per terabyte charges, that is storage charges. $23 per terabyte storage charges. Let's say for an example, I'm taking Microsoft Azure, and I will be going to London. Okay, you can see these prices are coming with the 24 terabyte, $24 per terabyte. So it is
Mhm.
based on the cloud platform, it is based on the region, your prices will be varied. So that is the reason this decision should be coming from the client side, that what charges they want to pay, which is the comfortable for them. So if they already have some account with Azure, they will not go and create an account with AWS, because it will be easy for them in future. You will be able to understand. Let's say I want to share some data with you. So I have an account with AWS, I have an account with Asian region, and you also have the same configuration account. Then it will be very easy for us to share the data among us. But if it is a different cloud, we have to replicate the data, and replication charges high. So these are all the sector, these are all the couple of factors. In future, you will be able to understand whenever I'll take those classes. So
Mhm.
uh, because that based on those factors, actually company decides like which clouds they will be going into. So if they already have created account, or they already have the license with the AWS, they go with AWS. If they already have the license with Azure, they go with Azure. So in those cases, they get a lot of benefits. Okay, so they can have a deal with Snowflake and all. So those type of functionalities will be there. Okay, so fraud trial account you can choose anyone. There is no issue, but mostly I will prefer to choose AWS because Azure and GCP have little restrictions in case of Snowpipe and all. So I'll tell you what is Snowpipe and all later. So in case of Snowpipe and all, Azure and GCP has little restriction. So learning purpose, I will always prefer to open the account with AWS. It is having highly flexibility. Okay,
Okay.
that's the reason. Yeah. Any questions? So that's all from my side. If you have guys any question, you can ask. Mohan, do you have any question? You are on mute. Okay.
How does the future look like being a Snowflake administrator? I
It's
mean, do you start off being a Snowflake administrator?
no, started. Yes, see, there are a couple of things. Like when I started working in Snowflake, then people basically it was just started getting resources. Uh, okay, fine. So you can write if you have any questions. You can write in chat box also. No issue. So if you basically whenever we started this Snowflake, so and on that time generally it was like a very uh, beginner level. So started with the developer and all, but nowadays like admin, you can start your career with admin. They are providing like organizations are taking the admin people, they are taking the basically data engineers, okay, testers. Several sectors has opened with Snowflake. It's a huge demand in market. They are providing too much job opportunities are there. Okay, job openings are there. They have included a lot of other tools can be integrated with Snowflake. Like you can integrate DBT, you can integrate other ETL tools and all. So those are integrated with Snowflake. So it is
What is this DBT tool that you talk about?
right. So DBT is nothing but it is a data transformation tool. I told you, no. So basically, what exactly happens here? We as a user, we provide the data to the let's say, or for an example, let's say from the different source, we gather the data to the data warehouse, right? Data
Hmm?
warehouse, and all are raw data. Okay, all are raw data. Now, these raw data gets transformed by using DBT. Actually,
Okay.
in Snowflake, what we do, this is the data warehouse, or we can call it as a Snowflake. Okay, better to call it as a Snowflake. Okay. So whenever we from the source system, we gather the raw data into Snowflake. Okay, and then we connect DBT with Snowflake. We run several jobs in DBT. Okay, and by
Hmm?
using those jobs, what we do is like we run the SQL script. These jobs actually will be running the SQL script, and by using the SQL script, we transform these raw data into a transformed data, and finally we store this data to a either a table or a view. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is what exactly we do, and this table or view finally will be connected with Power BI reporting tool or Tableau. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
that
Okay.
is how it works. So DBT actually used for the transforming the raw data into the shape what business wants to see or what the downstream applications wants the data. So according to that, we write the logic in DBT and we transform this data into a transform format of the data. So that's what the DBT does actually.
Amit,
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mohan here. Okay, so I just want to understand, like, how many transformations we have, like in Informatica. Uh, just want to understand, Amit. Like, let's say, like 30 transformations that we need to learn. Very specific that we have here.
See, this is a data warehouse. Here we store the data dimension wise. Okay. For an
Okay.
example, you have a sales data. Okay, now in that sales table, you have sales ID, amount, quantity, let's say in which region you have sold the data, let's say which country you have sold the data, let's say when you have sold the data, okay, how much profit you have generated, what was the selling price, what was the buying price, right? When you have purchased the amount, how long, what was the year of the time the item was there in the inventory. This entire details is there in the sales table. Now this entire raw data, business nothing to do. If you provide this raw data to business, they will be not do anything with those data. Now business, let's say, provided you sometime, like you create a data model based on the date. I want to see the entire data based on the date. Okay, let's say date means, let's say I want a separate table, or I want a separate model. There the data will be date wise. Let's say how much sale you generated on January, then February, then March. Like that, business wants to see the data. This is what we call transformation of the data. You have the sales data, there you have the entire raw data available. Now these raw data, how the business wants to see the data, different dimensions, same data. I created one data model. Let's say I have data model in the sense separate table. Let's say I created as a, let's say I created a sales underscore dates, or for an example, let's say date wise sales report. This is a table I created, and there all the sales data I summarized with the month wise. Okay, January month, February month. Let's say another dimensions of data wants to see like country wise. So now another data model I created, let's say country sales report. And this data model means another table I created. Let's say here country wise, India, how much sold data, how much sales we have generated, USA, UK, like that region. So this is what we call dimension wise table. Same data you can see in a different dimensions. I have some data, sales data, I have some policy data, I have some claim data, whatever it is. I have some retail data, whatever it is. Some people, sometimes business wants to see the data in a basically, let's say for an example, date wise. Sometimes they wants to see the data in a, let's say month wise, country wise, region wise. So according to their business needs, we need to gather the data. For an example, let's say if you talk about the manufacturing, let's say for an example, you are talking something called let's say you are the manufacturer and you are delivering some item to customers. Let's say for an example, you have a business with the selling some parts of the electronic devices. Now you have all the materials information, you where it is generated, all those informations you have. Now business wants to check that data, how much data has been properly delivered on time, how much data has still not delivered. So these are all different dimensions of data they wants to generate, right? And that is the that is how basically we prepare the transformation logic according to that.
Okay. Okay, Amit, I think this I understood well, Amit. I think the way that you're preparing here the model as per the customer requirement, correct?
Yeah, right.
That store anything that information into that model with the help of the model. You use the kind of transformations, right? For me to understand, in information, we have something called, when you want to aggregate something, we have something called summation transformation, aggregated transformation, something like it. Do we have any specific transformation that we need to look in?
No. In Snowflake, we don't have any specific transformation rules or something. The transformation
Okay.
rules will be decided by business, like how they wants to see the data. According to that, we
Correct.
will be writing the logic and we will be transforming the data. Here, we don't have any transformation segregations over there.
Okay, so we will be doing it only the like dimension tables. So based
Yeah.
on dimension table, user will be accessing it.
Dimension tables, see, either you are storing in the dimension tables or you are not storing in the dimension table, doesn't matter. But according to the
Okay.
business provided dimensions, we will be creating dimensions in the sense sectors, different sectors, like date wise, country wise, region wise. That is what
Okay.
they wants to. So these are the different sectors. Okay, I want to see what are all the orders has been blocked. Let's say from different countries I am importing some item. I want to see wherever the customs has been blocked my orders, why my orders are
Okay.
not cleared. So if anybody called to the customer support team, now they have to answer something, right? For them,
Okay.
they need to generate some information from the, so those informations we need to store in a separate table, and according to
Okay.
that we need to prepare a report, right? So those type of transformations we do here in Snowflake.
Okay. So where comes the data engineering part here?
This is entirely
Data
the
engineering.
engineering part. See,
Okay.
first from the source system, how we will be extracting the data into Snowflake database. That is one thing.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have the Snowflake copy statements to do that. I'll execute how to read the files, semi-structured data,
Okay.
JSON, Parquet, CSV. I'll show you everything. So from the
Okay.
source, how
Okay.
can you load the data to Snowflake? Now, once you
Okay.
loaded the data into Snowflake, how can we write the logic into DBT to transform the data into a target table and target view? So this is the entirely the data engineering part.
Okay.
You got
That
my
is
point?
one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, understood. Understood. And that is one thing. There is one more question from me that uh, let's say traditional functions will be there in the Snowflake. Because I recently worked on some function list aggregation,
These
some
are all
kind of
functions.
very tricky functions are there. Would you be explaining those also, like in our
Whatever
course?
Snowflake specific functions are there, like for an example, load history. Okay, load history. Then you have the copy history, copy underscore history. Whatever Snowflake provided functions are there, everything I'll be explaining. Apart from that, if you want any SQL functions to be explained, you do one thing, you note down all the functions which you want me to explain and give it to me. I'll take a class on it. That's not an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
That is one thing, Amit. And another thing is like nowadays, Databricks is also like but doing good competition to Snowflake, isn't it right? So, like how best is the Snowflake compared to Databricks?
The simple answer, Databricks is having hell lot of complexity which Snowflake doesn't have. Okay, so in case of
Okay.
Databricks, you need to handle the entire lot of things from the Azure. You have to learn. You cannot learn the Databricks and you can go. You have to processing.
Okay.
There is the processing is the separate. There is a lot of things you need to learn, but entire
Okay.
complexity has been hidden from the Snowflake side, and that's the reason it is grooming in the market rather than the Databricks. Databricks also people are using. Whoever is the Azure related companies, they mostly use the Databricks and all. But yeah, so both are competing in the market.
Very good. And one more thing, Amit, we have. Do we get a requirement of using a Python scripts in the Snowflake?
Very, it is there, but very rare. Like generally, Python is something. Actually, what happens like SQL would be the main thing. If you are
Okay.
writing the Python also, then that
Uh,
Python script actually will be calling the SQL script only to work. Okay, so
okay.
that's it. That is the reason your main thing is this one. But Python, some project use Python as a wrapper. Like they will be having the SQL script inside the Python and they will be schedule this Python job to somewhere. And by using Python, they are actually will be calling the SQL. So that some
Okay.
project does the Python thing. So if you know
Okay.
Python or if you have the idea on Python, so that's fine. Otherwise, it is not mandatory. It is not needed actually.
Okay. So what is the difference between writing transformation functions in Python and in Snowflake? Because in my project, people won't use the Snowflake DBT tool. They just write Python itself,
Hmm.
all the code, and they do transform
Simple
and
thing.
load.
Understood. See, simple thing. Lot of ways are there. So if you don't have the DBT, lot of other ways are there to transform the data. For an example, you have the raw data. Now, based on raw data,
Okay.
you directly can create a view. Now, inside the view, you can write all the logic, transformation logic. Okay. So
Okay.
this
Okay.
view you
Okay.
can provide to the some other project. What they do is like they have the raw data. They write a procedure. Okay. They write a
Okay.
procedure. Inside the procedure,
Okay.
this procedure you can write with SQL. This procedure you can write with JavaScript. This procedure you can
Okay.
write with Python. Okay, so whatever it
Okay.
is, if any project is earlier days, people used to write mostly with JavaScript. Now they use mostly with SQL. If it is not able to handle with SQL and all, they can. Some projects are writing the SQL in the Python also. Okay. Now the thing is that this raw data will be basically you are writing the procedure. Now that procedure you are by using the procedure you can transforming the data and loading into the table or view. So that way also you can do. But these are all old. This is having a lot of complexities actually. So if your projects are following this process, then that you cannot do anything. But this is having a lot of complexities are there. So that's the reason people
Okay.
directly they use the DBT anyways. And also this procedure and this is see Snowflake doesn't have the job functionality like DBT. So that's the reason with
Okay.
this procedure you have to use task. Otherwise, any other job scheduler like a control M or something you have to use, which will be running this
Okay.
procedure to generate this table or view periodically. Because you might be having
Okay.
the daily data loading, weekly data loading, monthly data loading. So according to that, it works.
Okay. You will be explaining this yesterday also, right? Slowly changing dimensions, like how. Uh,
Yesterday, I will be explaining slowly changing dimensions, how to handle in Snowflake by using stream plus
okay.
task. That is one way.
Okay.
Another one way, I will explain dynamic table. That is also important.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So with this 1 month course, like you will be covering the huge, right? Will this definitely enough, or like are you extending? You may extend some
It
more
is not
classes
a one
also. So
month course.
total.
It is not a 1 month course. It will be approximately one and a half. Uh, one and a half. It is more than 45 days close. So if we are starting this week, no, so it will be completed by December end probably. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
December end. So we will be covering. Yes, whatever is needed, I'll be cover all the things in the class along with the script
Okay.
executions, code executions. I'll be
Okay.
providing the recording as script as well. No issues.
Okay. This is like a different architecture, right? So I may require to connect and disturb you multiple times.
You
So is
can
that okay
no
to
no
have like something to make me
100%.
understand better? That is what.
You can ask your all the questions before completing the class. So that's not an issue. This is the class that everyone will be paying and taking the admissions, and they all have the proper. They all should learn properly. So it is not like
I
for
mean, after the class over the email, is it okay to respond in the
email.
same day
I don't.
for
I
you?
will. I don't always check the email. Ping me in WhatsApp, so I'll be answering.
WhatsApp. Okay. 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 Sure. That's all about from my side, Amit. I
Fine.
think
Fine.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarifications.
No problem. No
So
problem.
will you be sharing this today's recording
Yes,
with us
I'll be
once?
sharing the recording, and we will be starting the sessions by probably Friday. Okay.
Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friday morning. So this session is going to be 7:30 to 8:30, correct?
Right. Exactly. 7:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Fine.
all, Amit. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Fine. So that's all. Any more question, guys?
I'm
Okay.
pretty much fine. So I'll ping you in WhatsApp in case if I
Sure.
just
Sure.
need any clarifications, Mike.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Well,
No issue. No issue.
thank you, Amit. Have a
Thank you.
good day, Amit.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Please.